Hello everybody, it's Vicky here from Above Bounds Theatre Collective, and I hope that you're all super excited for the festive season because Christmas is nearly here. I thought I would share with you one of my favourite festive Christmassy stories today, and it's called The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. Our story starts with a young girl named Marie, and she lived in a big fancy house with her family, including her brother named Franz. These two were the best of friends and they loved to play together. But today wasn't any ordinary day. Today was Christmas Eve, and that meant one thing. It was time for the Christmas Eve party! Hooray! They would invite all of their good friends over from across the land to share some food with them, to have a boogie, to sing songs and to even open up some early Christmas presents as well. As the party was in full swing, Marie and Franz couldn't help but wonder where their Uncle Drosselmeyer was. All of a sudden, there was a knock at the door. Franz and Marie ran as fast as they could to the door, expecting it to be their favourite visitor. They opened the door with a creak. "He's here!" they both shouted. "Our favourite godfather, Uncle Drosselmeyer." Now, Uncle Drosselmeyer was a famous inventor, and he was known for making the most beautiful toys in all of the land. He walked through the door with a big pile of presents. "Ah, Merry Christmas Eve," Uncle Drosselmeyer said. "I have presents for both of you." And he handed Franz the first present. Franz frantically ripped off the wrapping paper, so excited to see what his gift was. And inside he found a group of toy soldiers. "Oh, thank you, Uncle Drosselmeyer. These are great." Now, Uncle Drosselmeyer had another parcel in his hand and passed it to Marie. Unlike her brother, Marie stared at the beautiful wrapping paper that encased her gift. She placed it on her lap and carefully peeled the wrapping paper away, not to rip it, only to reveal her precious Christmas gift. "Wow, what is it?" said Marie. "This is a nutcracker," said Uncle Drosselmeyer, "and I will show you how it works." Uncle Drosselmeyer picked up a nut and placed it in between the nutcracker's mouth. He cranked the lever with a crunch, and the nutshell had opened. "Wow," said Marie, "can I have a go?" So Marie had a go with the nutcracker and was amazed. "This is brilliant," said Marie. "Oh, thank you, Uncle Drosselmeyer." "Can I have a go?" said Franz. "Sure thing," said Marie. So Franz decided to test out this nutcracker by picking up the biggest nut he could find. He placed it in between the nutcracker's mouth and pressed the lever with an almighty crunch. Oh no, it wasn't the nutshell that had made that almighty crunch. In fact, it was the nutcracker itself. Marie looked at the floor and saw that the nutcracker had broken. Its jaw had fallen off. "Oh no," said Marie, and started to cry. "Oh, don't worry, Marie," said Uncle Drosselmeyer. "I can fix that for you in no time," and took the nutcracker away to start fixing it. Meanwhile, it was getting very, very late, so Marie and Franz decided to go to bed. They rested their heads on their pillows and fell fast asleep. At midnight, the clock struck 12 with a loud bong, 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 and Marie woke up with a fright. Oh, my nutcracker," she said. She'd forgotten to check up on the nutcracker after her uncle had said that he would fix it. It must be under the Christmas tree, she thought. So she got out of bed and ran down the stairs as quickly as she could. And she looked under the Christmas tree. Amongst all of the gifts, there she saw the Nutcracker, all fixed, good as new. As she bent down to pick up the Nutcracker, she looked up above and noticed that the Christmas tree was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and all of the gifts around her were too. The fireplace was massive. Marie soon realised it wasn't that everything was getting bigger, but she, in fact, was getting smaller. All of a sudden, she heard a loud squeak, 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 squeak. What was that? Thought Marie. I wonder what that could be. Squeak, 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 squeak. All of a sudden, Marie turned, and from across the living room, she saw a mouse. And not just any old mouse. This mouse was the Mouse King, with a bright, sparkly golden crown on the top of his head. The Mouse King wasn't alone. All of a sudden, from every corner of the house crept all of these mice, an army of mice, and it looked like the Mouse King was ready to start a battle. "We're going to charge after 3, said the Mouse King. "Are we ready, mice?" "Ready," said all of the mice, gathered behind him. "Attack in 3, 2, 1, charge!" Out from behind the Christmas tree appeared all of Franz's toy soldiers, also charging towards the Mouse King and the mouse army. And they started an almighty battle. They took out their swords and swung them at each other, over their heads, below their feet. "Oh no," thought Marie, "what have I gotten myself into?" And she hid behind the gifts under the Christmas tree. She decided to peek out, scared that she would get hurt as she walked out onto the battlefield. And all of a sudden, she heard a voice. "Don't worry, Marie, you're safe here, but I need to go out and help them." It was the Nutcracker talking. "You can talk," said Marie. But before the Nutcracker could answer her question, he was off out onto the battlefield and decided to take out his sword and demand a battle with the almighty Mouse King himself. They started to fight, and Marie was so scared she didn't want to look, but she decided to take a quick peek. But things weren't looking good. The Mouse King had pinned down the Nutcracker onto the floor and held its sword close by, ready to take its final swipe. With some quick thinking, Marie looked down at her feet and spotted her pink slippers that she had. She took one off and decided to throw it at the Mouse King. Whee! Crash! Marie's shoe had hit the Mouse King's head and sent his crown flying across the other side of the room. The Mouse King fell to the floor, defeated. Marie had saved the day. Hooray! She ran over to the Nutcracker to check that he was okay. "Thank you, Marie," said the Nutcracker. "You have broken the curse I was under by the evil Mouse King, and now I shall return to my rightful self." And just as the Nutcracker had said this, he turned into a handsome prince. Marie had broken the curse and spell he was under. She really was a hero. The Nutcracker invited her to come and visit the Kingdom of Sweets, the land he was in charge of. So, from the top of the Christmas tree floated down the Sugar Plum Fairy and waved her magical wand. And just like that, she transported them to the Kingdom of Sweets. Marie and the prince were surrounded by all of the sweets you could imagine. candy canes, chocolate, and plenty of sweet treats to tuck into. They spent the rest of the day enjoying their time in the Kingdom of Sweets, and they decided to have a little bit of a dance to celebrate as well. As Marie was enjoying dancing amongst all of the sweet treats in this magical kingdom, she closed her eyes to take in all of the wonderful things around her. And when Marie opened her eyes, she noticed that she was back under the Christmas tree in her living room. Her mum came down the stairs and saw Marie under the Christmas tree and said, "What have you been getting up to, Marie?" "I have been on the most wonderful adventure," said Marie. And she started to talk about and share all of the wonderful things that she had explored. The Kingdom of Sweets, meeting the prince, and also seeing the battle between the toy soldiers and the Mouse King. "Oh, that sounds like a wonderful dream," said Marie's mum. "It wasn't a dream," said Marie. And she looked at the Nutcracker, who had been sat by her side all along, who gave her the biggest smile she had ever seen. The end. Oh, what a fantastic story, and thank you for letting me share it with you all today. I wondered if you wanted to continue getting into the festive spirit by making something very Christmassy. How about I show you how we can make our very own Christmas tree out of some materials that you can find at home. Something to decorate your homes with and to spread some Christmas cheer. So to make your Christmas tree craft, what you'll need is one paper plate. You'll need some glue and a paintbrush. Some coloured paint or some coloured pens, it's completely up to you. Some tape, some scissors with some adult supervision provided, and then some coloured card or other decorative materials so that we can create some decorations for our wonderful Christmas tree. Fantastic! Now that you have all of the materials that you'll need, we can get started. So first of all, you're going to need your paper plate and your pair of scissors. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut your paper plate into 3 different triangles. If you want to, you can draw it on with a pen so that you can see the sections. So I'll show you now. There we go. So we've made 3 triangles out of our paper plate, and all you need to do now is cut them out. Fantastic. Now that you've cut out your paper plate triangles, what we need to do is we need to paint them or colour them in a lovely green colour. So this is going to form our tree. So you can choose to use some acrylic paint, or if you don't have any paints, you can also choose some colour pens and you can colour them in as well. And then once you've coloured in your triangles, they should look something like this. Oh, voila. So now you can pop your paints to the side, you don't need them anymore, and we have 3 wonderful green triangles, and this is going to form our tree. So what we can do is we can take our 3 triangles and we can position them one on top of the other, so we have our lovely Christmas tree shape. What we can do now is we can turn this over and we can use some of our tape. You can use sellotape, masking tape, any tape that you have around your house, and we can stick our Christmas tree together. And there we have it. Our Christmas tree is firmly stuck together, so we have our wonderful leaves for our tree. Now what we need is to create a bit of a trunk, a base to our tree. So if you have a spare piece of card, what you can do is you could take a brown pen or pencil and you could draw a nice rectangular or square shape to make the trunk of our tree, just like this, and you can colour it in. just like that. And once you've coloured that in, you can cut it out. Just like this. Now what you can do is we can turn our tree over and we can stick our brown rectangle that we've just cut out to the very bottom of our tree with a bit of tape. Ah, fantastic. We have our wonderful Christmas tree shape and it's starting to come together. So now this is the fun bit and we can start decorating. So if you have some spare tinsel or some coloured pipe cleaners, sparkly pipe cleaners, just like I have here, we can make some tinsel for our tree by wrapping it around. Now the great thing about pipe cleaners is that they're really bendy, so it means that we can just bend them around our tree like so. And then what we can do is we can turn it over and we can tape the ends in place so that it doesn't come undone. And then if we turn our tree over, look, it looks fantastic and sparkly. Now I wonder what else Christmas trees have on. That's right, they normally have some baubles on. So if you have any other decorative materials such as buttons or pom-poms, you can stick them onto your tree wherever you like. I've got some coloured card, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out some circle shapes in my card. And a good trick to cut out quite a few at once is that you can fold your card that you have a couple of times. And then that way, when we cut out some circles, we're going to cut out multiple at once. There we go, so we have some wonderful baubles. We have quite a few here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your PVA glue or some craft glue or even a glue stick if you've got one. And we're going to pop our paintbrush in and we're going to use it to stick on some of our wonderful baubles onto our Christmas tree. Fantastic, so we've stuck some of those wonderful baubles onto our Christmas tree and you can leave and save some of your other baubles that you've made, maybe if you make another. Now there is something that is missing from our Christmas tree, one final thing, and I wonder if you can spot what it is. Yes, that's right, we should have something at the top of our Christmas tree. Now it's up to you if you'd like to make a fairy or if you'd like to make a star. And today I'm going to make a lovely star to put on the top of our tree. So if you have some yellow card or yellow paper, you can grab that. If not, you can grab a plain piece of paper or card and colour it in yellow. And we're going to cut out a star shape. So I'm going to draw a star with my pen that I have here. Just like that. Can you see my wonderful star? There we go. And then once you've done that, you can carefully take your scissors again and you can cut this out. And there we go, we have a wonderful star to put on the top of our Christmas tree. So the final thing to do is to again bring back your glue and your paintbrush or your glue stick, whatever you're using today, and we're going to stick our star onto the top of our Christmas tree. Just like that. And there you have it, your very own paper plate Christmas tree that you can make using materials that you can find so easily in your own homes. Your Christmas tree crafts look fantastic. Well done everybody, and I hope you had fun making them too. Thank you for joining me for this festive story and craft making today, and I hope you continue to spread the festive cheer too.